This war will not be won with dragons alone, but with dragons flying behind armies of men.
In this video, I'm going to discuss the latest House of the Dragon trailer, including some very interesting details like Vermithor behind Rhaenyra and the Dragonseeds, a letter with info on either Rhaenyra or Rhaenys, a Septa hiding a dagger, the Blacks sacrificing some Darkling soldiers, etc. So stay tuned for that. Greetings Throne Watchers. This trailer not only shows the aftermath of what happened in the last episode, but also what's to come in the whole season. It might contain some minor spoilers, but it's all from the trailer. So, let's begin. First, let's take a look at what's happening in King's Landing with the Greens. After what happened in the last episode, I would like to start with the aftermath of Blood and Cheese. In King's Landing, we hear the bells tolling and the small folks going to the Septa. Usually, the bells only ring for the death of the kings, so Aegon having the bells ring for the death of Jaehaerys, it seems to show how much his death affected him. In the trailer, we see Aegon being mad, throwing stuff around and yelling, "I'll kill them." And Helaena also looks very traumatized. It will not be easy for her to recover from it. And then later in the trailer, we see that the Hightower soldiers are using the hounds to round up people and then they are hanging them. We also see some knights throwing stuff around like a vase of ash or something. And we later get to see riots in King's Landing. I don't know if it will happen immediately after this episode or it will happen sometime later, but we know there are going to be riots in King's Landing. We also see Gold Cloaks removing Rhaenyra's banners. We know it's not technically her banners, but maybe the small folks don't know what her new banner is. And then we see Sir Hugh Hammer carrying someone and walking with a girl named Eloria by his side. And later, he fights with the guy behind him for carrots. Them fighting for food only suggests one thing. If the small folks are trying to loot the food, it means there is a shortage of food in King's Landing. As for why there is a shortage, it's because of Corlys Velaryon's blockade. They have been successfully stopping the merchants from bringing in food and other supplies. So things are going to get bad in King's Landing. And we also see Helaena and Alicent running in the riots, and that's where Alicent will lose her necklace. Later, we see Aegon stab the table with a knife in the council chamber. And speaking of council chamber, you can see that Larys has also joined the small council. And since Otto is not sitting there, I'm going to guess that Otto has been kicked out. In one of the later shots, Otto looks really upset and he has a fight with Aegon, where Aegon says, "I don't want to be perceived as weak," and Otto says, "You already are." I think Aegon is going to get really pissed and is going to fire him. And after that, Otto will be replaced by Criston Cole, because we have seen multiple times in the trailer that Criston Cole was wearing the hand's chain. We also see the Dragonseeds trying to keep 4 dragon eggs in hot condition, probably trying to hatch them. And we see someone covered in mud fighting. My guess is this is Jason Lannister. We haven't seen him around ever since Rhaenyra rejected his proposal of marriage. In the council chambers, Cole calls Harrenhal the key to winning the war, and now he is fully supporting Aemon's plan. Aemon says they need dragons flying behind armies of men to win this war. So it seems like Criston Cole and Aemon are going to fight together. Cole later seems to be leaving King's Landing, and in this shot, he is wearing the hand's chain. Alicent gives him her handkerchief, which is considered a very romantic gesture. They are now in full relationship and have slept together, or at least will sleep together in the upcoming episodes. And Cole says to Alicent, "We have given the war to dragons." After that, we see a shot of Alicent meeting with Larys, and I've already discussed this scene in great details. You might have missed videos. Then we see Aemond walking into the throne room and then looking at the throne. It seems like he still wants the Iron Throne, and in the background, we can see Viserys' statue, the scaffolding and the stepladder that I have discussed in my previous videos. It's all there. Another interesting thing I noticed was that on his belt, you can see that there there are blue arrows on silver. What do you think it is? Do you think it could be a mistake, a costume design? What do you think it is? Let me know in the comments below. So that's what was happening with the greens. Now let's take a look at the blacks. At Dragonstone, we see a dragon arriving. It looks like a reddish dragon, so I'm going to guess it's Melius, because in one of the later shots, we see Rhaenys entering the Black Council chambers and everyone else seems to be there. Then we see little Viserys and Aegon the Younger playing with each other while Rhaenyra pats Aegon the Younger's head. Then we see Rhaenyra being mad at Daemon. She yells at Daemon that he has weakened her claim, but what's interesting to note is that she doesn't yell at him in front of everyone. It seems like she's yelling at him in the Black Council chambers, but she's not. When you look at the background, in the scene when she's actually yelling at him, there are curtains and a screen behind them. So they are in their private chambers. And in the council chamber, she does seem to be yelling at someone, but I think it's Alfred Broom, not Daemon. Then we see Rhaenyra walking in front of the Dragonseeds and you can see Vermithor in the background. Jace and Baela seems to be with her as well. After that, we see Rhaenys putting a piece on Rook's Rest and there are a dragon piece and a horse piece, by which I assume it's for cavalry, is near it. So I'm guessing they are planning to go to Rook's Rest. We later see Corlys in front of the painted table and there are all these pieces on top of the table, in which you can see Rhaenyra's piece on it, a dragon, some black pieces which I'm assuming is for blacks, and some small pieces that looks like Hightower's sigil, so I'm guessing those are the greens pieces. And then there is a weird piece in the center which looks like a weirwood surrounding what looks like a stone or something. What do you think it is? Let me know in the comments below. After that, we see Daemon entering Harrenhal. You can tell by his armor and his sword Dark Sister that it's Daemon. And then we see another shot of Daemon in his armor and his armor seems to be wet. And we already saw that it was raining at Harrenhal. You can also see a bridge in the background. The wall looks exactly like the wall from the other scene where Daemon was walking around in a nightshirt. And in that same nightshirt, we also see Daemon in the throne room, which means he can't exactly go from Harrenhal to King's Landing in the same nightshirt. So it has to be a dream or hallucination or something. Especially because you will see that in the throne room where Daemon is walking, there is no statue, no green flag, no stepladder, etc. in it. But we know all of these things are still in the throne room. So it confirms that Daemon will not physically go to the throne room. He might have a dream or a prophecy or something. Then we see Baela flying over a forest and later chasing some knights into the forest, who I think might be Kristen Cole. Shout out to Beth Barden, who actually guessed it correctly. Then we see Rhaenyra talking to Mysaria. You can also see a dragon skull in the back. I can't recognize this skull. Which dragon do you think it is? Then we see someone reading a letter. My guess is it's Mysaria, at least judging from her clothes, but I could be wrong about that. For now, let's assume it's Mysaria. This letter seems thicker than the other letter which had Rhaenys or Rhaenyra's information on it. So this is a completely different letter from that. Remember in my Who is the Real Mastermind Behind the Dance of the Dragons theory video, I discussed my theory about who was working behind the scenes with whom to make sure that the Targaryens destroyed themselves. You can check out my theory video to see from whom she could have received a letter. After that, we get another look at the Blackwoods versus Brackens scene. As I discussed in my previous videos, they were definitely in a field with farmers working in the background. There was also a bridge in the back, but what I thought was a shield turned out to be actually a tent, and you can see people entering from it. Well, I did say it could have been a person in front of something. So these were the old details, and I also noticed some new details in it, like the river between the two fields, which I think belongs to Blackwoods and Brackens respectively. I think Blackwoods are the ones on the left side with the mountain on their side, and you can also see the black horses on the Blackwoods fields. The other side could belong to the Brackens. So my guess is this Blackwood guy will cross over to the Bracken side and will push him. Was he provoked by the Brackens or did he provoke the Brackens? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. After that, we see a shot of a battle at King's King's Landing's beach. And do you see the dock here? It's the same dock from the previous trailers where we saw Kristen Cole beheading someone. Now we know who is going to be beheaded in the upcoming episodes. So House Darklyn will attack King's Landing. You can see on this upside boat, there is only the Darklyn banner. Did you notice something? All of these soldiers are only Darklyn soldiers. But why? Why would they attack with so few numbers? I have a theory for it. Do you remember Rob's strategy? Rob sacrificed several thousand men as a diversion to win the Battle of Whispering Woods, where he captured Jaime. If that's really their plan, and the Darkling soldiers were sent as a distraction, whose plan do you think it is? Daemon, Rhaenys, Rhaenyra, or Jace? And speaking of Jace, in one of the other clips, we see Jace at the twins drinking cups on the bridge with two Freys, and then he walks away from there. You can see the soldiers on the bridge are carrying white shields. So I guess one more house will join Rhaenyra's cause. Later, Jace, Rhaenyra and a dragon keeper look shocked at something. It seems like they are going to their little dragon pit. At least that's what I'm calling it until we get a new name. Anyways, so I think one of the Dragonseeds will claim a dragon and that will surprise Jace and Rhaenyra. And in one of another shots, Rhaena looks really sad. My guess is it's because her dragon egg didn't hatch, whereas Bella rides Moon Dancer to battle. She might be feeling a little bit jealous or inferior or insecure or something. What do you think? Then we see Daemon sit at a round table and threaten the lords with her dragon. Which house do you think it is? The table made me think of Eerie, but since Jace has already added them to the black side, I don't see any reason for Daemon to go there again. So my guess is this is House Royce. By the way, the girl behind them looks exactly like the waif. Do you think it is the same person? Or maybe the faceless man can store faces for a really long time and this could be another faceless man? I would love to see that happen. But I highly doubt it because we haven't heard any news of the actress joining the cast. Later, we see Daemon trying to open a locked door, but it seems to be locked from outside. Is it just me? Or does the door look like the door to the throne room? Maybe it's one of his other dreams? What do you think? Then we see the Valarian ship we saw in the first episode is ready to set sail. You can see people boarding the ship. Alan is hugging his brother Adam and is saying goodbye. So Alan will leave with Corlys and Adam will stay. Later, we see Adam looking up and see sea smoke flying in the sky. Once again, I don't want to mention any spoilers here, but in season 1, Daemon claimed that even sea smoke can find a new rider. But if Laenor is still alive, that can't happen. So if sea smoke accepts another rider, it would mean that Laenor has died in the free cities. If that happens, at least he will die free. What do you think? This video's comment shout out goes to Jason Ross 5358 who said, "I'm Team Black too. Good video. You caught a lot of details." Thank you, Jason. I'm also Team Black. I hope I can continue to post good videos. Anyways, I'll post more videos soon. If you like this video, please hit the like button below, share the video and subscribe to my channel. Have a great day. 7 blessings to you.